Hi, some thoughts for today, the second Sunday of Christmas. Now, do you enjoy books of quotations and coming across a clever or witty saying that either makes you smile or think just for a moment? For instance, John Masefield said, "The days that make us happy make us wise." Paul Bowes said, "Forgiveness does not change the past, but it does enlarge the future." Lawrence Peter writes, "In spite of the cost of living, it's still popular." A description: retirement, the transition from who's who to who's he. Richard Bach writes, "Every problem has a gift for you in its hands." Then, déjà vu, the feeling that you've heard this bull before. And finally, the Canadian John Diefenbaker said, "Freedom is the right to be wrong, not the right to do wrong." According to the ancients, wisdom was everything. It was more valuable than gold, and as the book of Proverbs says, "Years ago I was set up, before mountains were shaped, before earth and fields. I was there," says wisdom, "when God established the heavens, made the skies above and the fountains of the deep. I was God's daily delight." Then in John's Gospel, this wisdom, this word, no longer out there and distant, came in here, close and personal, in the person of Jesus. Once there was a journalist called Alexander, whose country was engaged in a bitter war. He decided to write an extended article about the war. In order to do so, he went to the front, because he wanted to see for himself what it was like for the soldiers on the front line. At the front, he spared himself nothing. Not once, but several times, he went into the thick of the battle. He spent his nights making careful notes of all he had witnessed during the day. After about a month at the front, he decided he'd seen enough, so he headed back to his office in the city. It took a lot of hard work to get the long article into shape. When it was finished, he showed it to his editor. He was highly pleased with it. It was given center page prominence, and the article was spread over 5 days. It created a big stir among the readers. Alexander was purring with self-satisfaction. But then one day, out of the blue, a letter came. It was from a soldier who had served at the front, but he was now hospitalized with a serious leg wound. In his letter, the soldier wrote, "I know you meant well. Nevertheless, what you did, praiseworthy though it was, does not entitle you to speak on our behalf. There is an unbridgeable gap between the bravest correspondent and the ordinary soldier. As a journalist, you are not part of the force. You're not subject to military discipline. No one could charge you with desertion if you ran away. If you really and truly want to understand what it is like for us, you would have to join the unit, fight with it, not knowing if you would live or die, or if your comrades would live or die." Even though Alexander knew the soldier was speaking the truth, he was hurt deeply by the letter. If you really wanted to be an authentic spokesman for the soldiers, then there was only one way to do it: become a soldier himself. The big question was, good and brave man though he was he capable of so big a risk? But in John's Gospel reading today, this is precisely what God did in Jesus. The Word was made flesh and lived among us. Jesus became one of us. He came to stay and lived among us. He was not passing through as a tourist, take a few happy snaps, give a visitor's appreciation feedback on TripAdvisor. No, he came to stay, to know what it is to be human, what makes us struggle and weep, what makes us laugh, gives us joy, what makes us fall and stumble and somehow rise and go again. He took on our fragile, perishable humanity in order to show us what our humanity is capable of. That is why when Jesus speaks, there is a truth and wisdom born out of experience and an overwhelming love for us. Words that can reach us, touch us, and change us. Words coming from a wisdom born out of love and participation. We need to seek and know that wisdom and never give up. As Lao Tzu reminds us, an ant on the move does more than a dozing ox. So travel safe, pilgrim.